I shake it for anybody. Don't be by force, don't be by power. Money ain't cool, no tower. I be getting the bread, I be stacking the bread, and you know, see the blessing the shower. Active, active, I'm always active, never lazy. Check my background, and you see why I should no mercy, yeah.
Started now. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. My bad. Hello, I'm back. Sorry, the video I just uploaded. It was on private all the time, so I didn't know. I'm already sleeping. Maybe it will take them a while, but maybe they can. Then they'll find out all about our new identities. No, Travis said. He turned on the defroster and the windshield wipers. Oh my gosh. The windshield wipers to clear the condensation off the outside of the glass. Van Dyne wouldn't keep records. He doesn't want to be caught with proof of what he does. If the authorities ever tumble to him and go in there with search warrants, they won't find anything in Van Dyne's computers except the accounting and purchasing records for high tips. As they drove through the city, heading for the Golden Gate Bridge, Nora stared in fascination at the people in the streets and in other cars. Just not okay. They're not. Didn't I already read this? Just in, not just in the tenderloin, but in, what does tenderloin even mean? Oh, it's making me mad. What does that even mean, bro? Tenderloin is beef. Woo! That's not what it means, bro. No, wait, it's beef. No, that's not the meaning. Okay, so tenderloin. Tenderloin is a slang term for a city district known for vice, corruption, or nightlife. Okay, that's what it means. Damn, bro, you're showing me meat for the word. Making me mad. I don't have anger problems. Maybe I just need sleep. No excuses. We don't want excuses. If you ever hear me make any excuses, just shut me up. Anyway. Not just in the Tenderloin, but in every neighborhood through which they passed. She wondered how many of them were living under the names and identities with which they had been born, and how many were changelings like her and Travis. In less than 3 hours, we've been totally remade, she said. Some world we live in, huh? More than anything else. That's what technology means. Maximum fluidity. The whole world is becoming ever more fluid, malleable. Most financial transactions are now handled with electronic money that flashes from New York to LA or around the world in seconds. Money crosses borders in a blink. It no longer has to be smuggled out past the guards. Most records are kept in the form of electrical charges that only computers read, so everything's fluid. Identities are fluid. The past is fluid, Nora said. Even the genetic structure of a species is fluid these days. Einstein woofed agreement. Nora said, "Scary, isn't it?" "A little," Travis said as they approached the light bedecked southern entrance to the fog-mantled Golden State Bridge, which was all but invisible in the mist. But maximum fluidity is basically a good thing. Social and financial fluidity guarantee freedom. I believe and I hope that we're heading toward an age when the world governments will inevitably dwindle. When there will be no way to regulate and control people as thoroughly as was possible in the past. To- Totalitarian. Definitely, I said all right. I'll be so honest.
Totalitarian.
Totalitarian. Totalitarian. Totalitarian. It's a form of autocratic government. Okay. Totalitarian governments won't be able to stay in power. How so? Well, how can a dictatorship control its citizens in a high-tech society at maximum fluidity? The only way is to refuse to allow high-tech to intrude, seal the borders, and live entirely in an earlier age. But that'd be national suicide for any country that tried it. They couldn't compete. In a few decades, they'd be modern aborigines, aborigines.
Aborigines. Aborigines.
Aborigines. Aborigines. Who comes up? Oh my gosh, my English. Who comes up with these words, man? Ooh, it's making me mad. Who comes up with these words? Who comes up with the? Who comes up with these words? Who? Aborigines. Aborigines. Maybe it's my mindset, the way that I'm thinking. Nah, I love the new words, even though they're frustrating to say. I love learning about them. That's the way I want to think. You know, English would be boring without any weak words that people were not familiar with. Aborigines, primitive by the standards of the civilized high-tech world. Right now, for instance, the Soviets try to restrict computers to their defense industry, which can't last. They'll have to computerize their entire economy and teach their people to use computers. And then how can they keep the screws tight when their citizens have been given the means to manipulate the system and throw its controls on them? At the entrance to the bridge, no northbound toll was collected. They drove onto the span where the speed limit had been drastically reduced because of the weather. Looking up at the ghostly skeleton of the bridge, which glistened with condensation and vanished in the fog, Nora said, "You seem to think the world will be paradise in a decade or two." "Not paradise," he said. "Easier, richer, safer, happier, but not a paradise. After all, there will still be all the problems of the human heart and all the potential sicknesses of the human mind, and the new world's bound to bring us some new dangers as well as blessings. Like the thing that killed your landlord," she said. "Like the thing that killed your landlord," she said. "Yes." In the back seat, Einstein growled. Uh-oh, somebody's back. You know what that means. Alright, let me shut up. That Thursday afternoon, August 26th, Vince Nasco drove to Johnny the Wire Santini's place in San Clemente to pick up the past week's report, which was when he learned of the murder of Ted Hockney in Santa Barbara the previous evening. The condition of the corpse, especially the missing eyes, linked it to the outsider. Johnny had also ascertained that the NSA had quietly assumed jurisdiction in the case, which convinced Vince it was related to the Bernardine fugitives. That evening, he got a newspaper and over a dinner of seafood, enchiladas, and dos equi at a Mexican restaurant. He read about Hockney and about the man who had rented the house where the murder occurred. Anyway, too late. I'm stalling. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. That evening, he got a newspaper and over a blah blah blah. He read that. Read about Hockney and about the man who had rented the house where the murder occurred, Travis Cornell. The press was reporting that Cornell, a former real estate broker who had once been a member of Delta Force, kept a panther in the house and that the cat had killed Hockney. But Vince knew that the cat was bullshit, just a cover story. The cops said they wanted to talk to Cornell and to an unidentified woman seen with him. Though they had not filed any charges against him, the story also had one line about Cornell's dog. Cornell and the woman may be traveling with a golden retriever. If I can find Cornell, Vince thought, I'll find the dog. Vince is not stupid. This was the first break he'd had, and it confirmed his feeling that owning the retriever was a part of his great destiny. To celebrate, he ordered more seafood, enchiladas, and beer. Travis, Nora, and Einstein stayed Thursday night at a motel in Marin County, north of San Francisco. They got a six-pack of San Miguel at a convenience store and takeout chicken, biscuits, and coleslaw from a fast food restaurant, and ate a late dinner in the room. Einstein enjoyed the chicken and showed considerable interest in the beer. Travis decided to pour half a bottle in the new yellow plastic dish they had gotten the retriever during their shopping spree earlier in the day. But no more than half a bottle, no matter how much you like it. I want you sober for some questions and answers. After dinner, the three of them sat on the king-size bed, and Travis unwrapped the Scrabble game. He put the board upside down on the mattress with the playing surface concealed, and Nora helped him sort all the lettered game tiles into 26 piles. Einstein watched with interest and did not seem slightly woozy from his half bottle of San Miguel. Okay, Travis said, I need more detailed answers than we've been able to get with yes and no questions. It occurred to me that this might work. Ingenious, Nora agreed. To the dog, Travis said, I ask you a question and you indicate the letters that are needed to spell out the answer. One letter at a time, word by word. You got it? Einstein blinked at Travis, looked at the stacks of letter tiles, raised his eyes to Travis again and grinned. Travis said, "All right. Do you know the name of the laboratory from which you escaped?" Einstein put his nose to the piles to the pile of bees. Nora plucked a plucked a tile off the stack and put it on the portion of the board that Travis had left clear. In less than a minute, the dog spelled Banodine. Banodine, Travis said thoughtfully. Never heard of it. Is that the entire name? Einstein hesitated, then began to choose more letters and then choose then began to then then began to choose more letters until he had spelled out Banodine Laboratories Inc. on a pad of motel stationery. Travis made a note of the answer, then returned all the tiles to their individual stacks. Where is Banodine located? Irvine. That makes sense, Travis said. I found you in the woods north of Irvine. Alright. I found you on Tuesday, May 18th. When had you escaped from Banodine? Einstein stared at the tiles, whined, and made no choices. In all the reading you've done, Travis said, you've learned about months, weeks, days, and hours. You have a sense of time now. Looking at Nora, the dog whined again. She said, he has a sense of time now, but he didn't have one when he escaped. So it's hard to remember how long he was on the run. Einstein immediately began to indicate letters. That's right. Do you know the names of any researchers at Banodine? Davis Weatherby. Travis made a note of the name. Any others? Hesitating frequently to consider possible spellings, Einstein finally produced Lawton Haynes, Al Huston, and a few more. After noting all of them on the motel stationery, Travis said, these will be some of the people looking for you. Yes, and Johnson. Yeah, Vince already killed most of them. Johnson? Nora said. Is he one of the scientists? No. The retriever thought for a moment, studied the stacks of letters, and finally continued. Security. He's head of security at Banodine? Travis asked. No. Bigger. Lemuel Johnson. Probably a federal agent of some kind, Travis told Nora. Probably a federal agent of some kind, Travis told Nora. As she returned the letters to their stacks, to Einstein, Nora said, do you know this Johnson's first name? Einstein gazed at the letters and mewed, and Travis was about to tell him it was all right if he didn't know Johnson's first name then, but the dog attempted to spell it. Lemuel. There's no such name, Nora said, taking the letters away. Einstein tried again. Lemuel. Then again, Lemuel. That's not a name either, Travis said. A third time, Lamb. You will. Travis realized the dog was struggling to spell the name phonetically. Phonetically. He chose. Oh, the freak's the card like. He chose 6-letter tiles of his own. Lemuel Johnson, Nora said. Einstein leaned forward and nuzzled her neck. He was wiggling with pleasure in having gotten the name across to them, and the springs of the motel bed creaked. Then he stopped nuzzling Nora and spelled dark Lemuel. Dark? Travis said. By dark, you mean Johnson is evil? No, dark. Nora restacked the letters and said, dangerous? Einstein snorted at her, then at Travis as if to say, there were sometimes I'm barely thick-headed. No, dark. For a moment, they sat in silence. thinking. And at last, Travis said, "Black? You mean Lemuel Johnson is a black man?" Einstein chuffed softly, shook his head up and down, swept his tail back and forth on the bedspread. He indicated 19 letters, his longest answer. "There's hope for you yet." Nora laughed. Travis said, "Wise ass." But he was exhilarated, filled with the joy that he would have been filled with a joy that he would have been hard pressed to describe if he had been required to put it into words. They had been communicating with the retriever for many weeks, but the Scrabble tiles provided a far greater dimension to their communication than they had enjoyed previously. More than ever, Einstein seemed to be their own child, but there was also an intoxicating feeling of breaking through the barriers of normal human experience, a feeling of transcendence. Einstein was no ordinary monk, of course, and his high intelligence was more human than canine. But he was a dog. More than anything else, a dog. Huh? Oh my gosh. It's all good. It's okay. It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. More than anything else, but he was a dog. More than anything else, a dog. And his intelligence was still quali- qualitatively qualitatively different from that of a man. So there was inevitably a strong sense of mystery and great wonder in the interspecies dialogue. Staring at "There's hope for yet," Travis thought a broader meaning could be read into the message, that it could be directed at all humankind. For the next half an hour, they continued questioning Einstein, and Travis recorded the dog's answers. In time, they discussed the yellow-eyed beast that had killed Ted Hawking. "What is this damn thing?" Nora asked. "The outsider," Travis said. "The outsider? What do you mean?" "That's what they called it. The people in the lab?" Travis asked. "Why did they call it the outsider?" "Because it does not belong," Nora said. Because it does not belong. Nora said, "I don't understand." "Two successes, me and it. I am dog. It is nothing that can be named outsider." Travis said, "It's intelligent too?" "Yes." "As intelligent as you?" "Maybe." "Jesus," Travis said, shaking. Einstein made an unhappy sound and put his head on Noah's knee, seeking the reassurance that petting could provide him. Travis said, "Why would they create a thing like that?" Einstein returned to the stacks of letters. "To kill for them." A chill trickled down Travis's spine and seeped deep into him. Who did they want to kill? "The enemy." "What enemy?" Nora asked. "In war." With understanding came revulsion bordering on nausea. Travis sagged back against the headboard. He remembered telling Nora that even a world without want and with universal freedom would fall short of paradise because of all the problems of the human heart and all the potential sicknesses of the human mind. To Einstein, he said, "So you're telling us that the outsider is a prototype of a genetically engineered soldier, sort of a very intelligent, deadly police dog designed for the battlefield. It was made to kill. It wants to kill." Reading the words as she laid out the tiles, Nora was appalled. "But this is crazy. How could such a dog ever be controlled? How could it? How could it be counted? How could it be counted on not to turn against its masters?" Travis leaned forward from the headboard. To Einstein, he said, "Why is the outsider looking for you? Hates me. What does it hate you?" "Don't know." As Nora replaced the letters, Travis said, "Will it continue looking for you?" "Yes, forever." "But how does something like this move unseen at night?" "Nevertheless, like rats, move unseen." So let's say if they were to travel to Europe or go to Africa. The outsider will follow. He will swim. He will swim across the ocean, the river, just to follow them. Looking puzzled, Laura said. But how does it track you? Fills me. Fills you? What do you mean? She asked. The retriever puzzled over that one for a long time, making several false starts on an answer, and finally said, "Can you explain? Can you feel it too?" Travis asked. "Sometimes." "Do you feel it now?" "Yes." "Far away?" "Very far away?" "Very far away." Travis agreed. Hundreds of miles. Can it really feel you and track you down and track you from that far away? Even farther. Is it coming? Is it tracking you now? Coming. The chill in Travis grew icier. When will it find you? Don't know. The dog looked dejected, and he was shivering again. Soon? Will it feel its way to you soon? Maybe, not soon. Travis saw that Nora was pale. He put a hand on her knee and said, "We don't run from it the rest of our lives. Damned if you will. We'll find a place to settle down and wait. A place where we'll be able to prepare a defense and where I'm actually enjoying this. We won't run from it. We won't run from it the rest of our lives. Damned if we will. We'll find a place to settle down and wait. A place where we'll be able to prepare a defense and where we'll have the privacy to deal with the outsider when it arrives." Shivering, Einstein indicated more letters with his nose, and Travis laid out the tiles. "I should go." "What do you mean?" Travis asked, replacing the tiles. "I danger you." Nora threw her arms around the retriever and hugged him. "Don't you even think such a thing. You're a part of us. You're family, damn you. We're all family. We're all in this together, and we stick it out together because that's what families do." She stopped hugging the dog and took his head in both hands, met him nose to nose, peered deep into his eyes. "If I woke up some morning and found you've left us, if I woke up some morning and found you'd left us, it it ugh, it 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 break my heart." Tears shimmered in her eyes, a tremor in her voice. "Do you understand me, Furface? It would break my heart if you went off on your own." The dog pulled away from her and began to choose lettered tiles again. "I would die." "You would die if you left us?" Travis asked. The dog chose more letters, waited for them to study the words, then looked solemnly at each of them to be sure they understood what he meant. "I would die of lonely." Oh, Part 2, The Guardian. What you mean? Oh, that was part 1. Okay. Love alone is capable of uniting lives. Oh, of love alone is capable of uniting living things in such a way as to complete and fulfill them. For it alone takes them and joins them by what is deepest in themselves. Pierre Teilhard, the charting. Greater love had no man than this, that he laid down his life for his friend. The Gospel according to St. John. 8. On the Thursday that Nora drove to Dr. Waingold's office, Travis and Einstein went for a walk across the grassy hills and through the woods behind the house they had bought in the beautiful California coastal region called Big Sur. On the treeless hills, the autumn sun warmed the stones and cast scattered cloud shadows. The breeze off the Pacific drew a whisper from the dry golden grass. In the sun, the air was mild, neither hot nor cool. Travis was comfortable in jeans and a long sleeve shirt. He carried a Mossberg short barreled pistol grip, pump action, 12 gauge shotgun. He always carried it on his walks. If he ever encountered someone who asked about it, he intended to tell them he was hunting rattlesnakes, where the trees grew most vigorously. The bright morning seemed like late afternoon, and the air was cool enough to make Travis glad that his shirt was flannel. Massive pines, a few small groves of giant redwoods, and a variety of foothill hardwoods filtered the sun and left much of the forest floor in vegetation. Oh my gosh, you're making me mad. Included those low, impenetrable thickets of evergreen oaks, sometimes called the chaparral, plus lots of ferns that flourish because of the frequent fog and the constant humidity of the seacoast air. Einstein repeatedly sniffed out cougar spoor and insisted on showing Travis the tracks of the big cats in the damp forest soil. Fortunately, he fully understood the danger of stalking a mountain lion and was able to repress his natural urge to prowl after them. Alright, I'm gonna leave it right there. That was a good reading. So a quick recap of what I read. Vince had finally found a lead on Einstein. That was because of the murder of Ted Hockney, which went, I guess, global, all over, nationwide, all over the U.S. And you got the news. And I'll get it because it led him to finding his lead. Now, Vince, the NSA, and the outsider are now chasing the family, the small family of Einstein, Travis, Noah. And after that, Travis came up with this wonderful idea of compiling of a tile game, which is a type of game that has a bunch of letters and people would just make up random words. This was actually perfect because it led to Einstein being more specific instead of the basic yes or no questions. Even though they still got information that way, this was way better because they were able to make more progress and communicate better with the dogs. So with the tile game, it made communication better than it was before with Einstein. So with the tile game, they were able to find out where Einstein really came from and who the outsider was, what did it want, what it hated Einstein. My favorite part reading the book was how Einstein was asked, why does it hate you? And he just said, don't know. And my other favorite part was when he was telling them no, he was letting them know who was after him and gave him the name Lemuel Johnston and told Travis and Nora that Lem was black, was dark, and it was taking them a while for them to figure out. Then after they figure out, Einstein wrote out, "There's hope for you soon," which was funny, which was funny. It was just banter between Einstein and Travis. Then my other favorite part reading was when Nora and Einstein got a little emotional with each other when Einstein was explaining that the outsider will continue chasing after him forever and ever, and that it would be best if he just leave the family. And Nora told him, "You're part of our family. You're part of the family, and we take care of one another. So we protect each other. You can't leave. You're basically stuck with us forever and ever, forever and ever." So yeah, that was cool. That was cool to read. I loved it. So now I'm on part 2. Probably think my eyes are closed this whole time, but so now I'm on part 2. I was a good read. Every time I want to read.